Welcome to the next lecture on power system modeling. Here we are going to discuss the bus admittance matrix. So, what is a bus? The bus is the meeting point of various components of a power system. We have seen in the previous lecture what are the components. So, components can be generator, motor, transformer, substations, node. So, every meeting point of the components of a power system is called a bus. Now the bus or bus bar is basically a conductor which is made up of copper or aluminum having a negligible resistance. So resistance is negligible close to zero. Then this is basically a conductor made of copper or aluminum. So bus bar will have a zero voltage drop. Since the resistance is negligible, the bus bar will have zero voltage drop when it conducts at the rated current. Now buses are considered as a point of constant voltage in a power system. So we have seen that in a single line diagram that all the meeting point of the component, there we have a bus. And these bus bar are made up of copper or aluminum having a negligible resistance, and so zero voltage drop will be there and it will be a constant voltage system. Now, any power system which is represented with impedance or reactance diagram that are known as a circuit or network of a power system. Now, buses can be treated as nodes. So, in a circuit, we have a nodes. So, similarly, buses can be treated as the nodes, and all the voltages of the buses can be solved by conventional node analysis technique. So, similarly to in circuit, we solve the node analysis technique here in power system also. To obtain the voltage of all the buses, we will be using the node analysis technique. Now we know that the equation relating the admittance voltage and current is y into v equal to I. So here we have y bus. So we have to construct this y bus to obtain the voltage of each bus. So voltage of each bus will be then y bus inverse into current. So this will give you the voltage. So Y bus we can create from the reactance diagram, and then knowing the current injection and current leaving the bus, we can obtain the voltage of each of the buses. Now here the Y bus is basically the bus admittance matrix, which is the order of n into n, where n is the number of independent buses in the system, and V and I are basically the voltage matrix and current matrix of the order n cross 1, n cross 1. So here from the single line diagram, we have to obtain the reactance diagram, and from the impedance and reactance diagram, we can obtain the Y bus. So having known the current injection and current leaving the buses, we can easily obtain what is the voltage in the buses. Now, to make a special note of the Y bus, the element YJJ, that is the diagonal element, is basically sum of all admittances that is connected to bus number J. So, if we have a Y bus, so in case of a Y bus, all the diagonal elements, that is YJJ, is basically sum of admittance connected to bus number J, whereas YJK will be the negative sum of all admittance connected between bus J and bus K. And we know that YJK will be equal to YKJ. So in this way we can form the Y bus matrix by first filling up the diagonal elements, which is basically the sum of all admittances connected to bus J, and the off diagonal elements we can fill up by, if the first row we can fill up, that is the negative sum of all admittance connected between bus J and bus K, and since the matrix will be symmetrical, we can get the other values, and also Yjk equal to Ykj, that's a symmetrical matrix. Having one note that if a power system is represented by a reactance diagram, all the elements are inductive susceptances which are negative. So susceptances will be negative. In this case, Yij will be negative and Yjk will be positive. So that is the note in terms of how these elements are obtained. So formulation of bus admittance matrix. So how do we have the relationship between impedance and admittance in a network? So we know that a voltage source in series with an impedance can be converted to a current source in parallel with an admittance. So this is in accordance with the Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem. So voltage source with a source impedance and its Norton's equivalent are given by the relations this. So the current that we is there is basically the voltage divided by the impedance. So that will get the current, and the admittance is basically the reciprocal of the impedance. Now let us see a simple power system. So this is the single line diagram of or a simple power system. So we have basically n is equal to 4, that is we have 4 bus system. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have two generators G1 and G2 which are connected with transformer with a configuration delta star grounded to the buses. Now from the single line diagram, we can first obtain the impedance diagram. From the single line diagram, we can obtain the impedance diagram. So we have seen the rules how to obtain the impedance diagram. Now from the impedance diagram, we can obtain the admittance diagram. So we know the concept that from the Norton's equivalent, admittance is basically 1 by impedance and voltage source will be converted to current source. So current is basically voltage by impedance. So this impedance circuit will be converted to the admittance circuit. Now once it is converted to admittance circuit, we can write the equations in terms of current is equal to Y bus into voltage. Now this again the voltage we can get as a reciprocal and with terms of Z bus, right? So KCL at node 1, 2, 3 and 4 will give you the equation. So this will be the first equation KCL at node 1. This will be the second equation KCL at node 2. Similarly, we can apply the KCL equation at node 3 and we can apply the KCL equation at node 4. Now on combining all the KCL equation, we can write an equation in the form Y is equal to Y bus into the voltage. So the current is basically I1, I2, whereas I3, I4 are 0. There is no current injected to the bus number 3 and bus number 4. So we have to obtain all the voltages V1, V2, V3 and V4, that are the bus voltages, and this matrix is basically known as the Y bus matrix. So Y bus matrix is basically this. So we can see that all the diagonal elements are basically the sum of the admittances that are present on each buses. So sum of the admittance presented on each buses. So these are the diagonal elements, and the off diagonal elements are basically the negative of the admittances connected between the two buses, right? So this is we can construct the Y bus, and Y bus is symmetrical in nature, means the values of Y12 will be equal to Y21. So this we know that the Y bus is symmetric in nature. Now if there are some charging capacitors, how do we form the Y bus? So assume that all lines are represented by an equivalent pi network with the shunt admittance between the line Yj denoted by YCHIJ. So if this is our I and this is our J, that is the two buses, and we have the pi model of the network, this admittance YCH, which is because of the capacitance, will be half at the two ends. Similarly, there will be the other capacitances will be halfway, it will be divided to form the pi network. To form the pi network. Then the equivalent admittance at the two ends will be half of the total admittance, and shunt capacitance at the two ends joining buses 1 and 3 will be YCH 13 by 2. This for an example we have seen. So in this way, whenever we have a capacitor, we can connect it in the form of admittance to form a pi model. Now we have to obtain what is the Y bus of this network. If this capacitance is not there, then individually we can easily obtain the Y bus by taking the bus number 1, the sum of Y13 and Y11. If we take the bus number 3, then sum of Y13, 2, 3 and 3, 4. However, since capacitors are there, we have to see. So the admittance matrix will be modified, and we will be seeing that in the new Y bus matrix, there will be a term appearing in the diagonal elements alone, and the off diagonal elements will be same whatever we have if there is a no capacitors are there. So what are the values of YCH1, CH2, CH3 and CH4? So basically YCH1 will be the sum of the capacitors that are connected in the node 1 to YCH1, YCH3 divided by 2. Because if we see here at the node 1, we have two capacitors connected. What are they? One is 1 2 and another is 1 3. So that will form the capacitor YCH12, YCH13 divided by 2. And similarly, the other capacitances that are presented because of the capacitors, admittances because of the capacitors, we can easily obtain it. And these values of the admittances will be adding up only in the diagonal elements, whereas the off diagonal elements will be same as what it used to be if there is no capacitor. So some observation of Y bus matrix. Why we are going for Y bus matrix? First of all, Y bus matrix is a sparse matrix, so number of elements will be less. Diagonal elements are dominating, which is basically the sum of the elements that are connected to a particular bus. Off diagonal elements are symmetric in nature, and diagonal element of each node is the sum of the admittances connected to it. The off diagonal elements is a negated admittance. So these are the observations that we can do for the Y bus. Now we can write an equation I is equal to I bus into V. So this is our Y bus. So Y bus is basically symmetric in nature. Similarly, we can write an equation V is equal to Z bus into current. So again the Z bus will be symmetric in nature. So some of the terms that we will be using from the Y bus or the Y bus system is self-admittance. So what is self-admittance? How do we define? The first element Y11 is defined as the self-admittance. So it is the self-inductance at bus 1. How do we obtain that? Y11 is basically I1 by V1 when all the other voltages are 0. When all the other voltages are 0, V2, V3 and V4 are 0. The meaning is that they are short circuited. So bus number 2, 3 and 4 you short circuited to find the values of Y11. Similarly, the other term is mutual admittance. Mutual admittance is obtained Y12 when there is a current I1 divided by V2. When V1, V3, V4 is 0, this means these buses 1, 3 and 4 are short circuited, and we try to find the ratio of the current injected in bus number 1 and the measured voltage in bus number 2. Third term is driving point impedance. Driving point impedance Z11 is basically the input voltage by input current. So V1 is the input voltage, I1 is the input current. When other buses currents are 0, I2, I3, I4 are 0, that is the meaning this is open circuited. Bus number 2, 3 and 4 are open circuited. The fourth term is transfer impedance, that is Z12. Z12 is the ratio of voltage in the bus number 1 to current in the bus number 2, where the current in the bus number 1, 3 and 4 is 0, that is they are open circuited. Bus number 1, 3 and 4 are open circuited. Make a special note, Z12 is not the reciprocal of Y12. Means the transfer impedance Z12 which we have obtained here, Z12 is not the reciprocal of the mutual admittance Y12. This is a special note. We can't take the direct reciprocal to obtain each. The each one is independent of itself. Now, generally, in order to reduce the size of the Y-bus matrix for a large number of systems, we used to do the matrix partitioning and node elimination. We will be eliminating the node. So when we eliminate the node, sometimes it is desirable to reduce the network by eliminating the node in which the current do not enter or leave. Wherever there is no involvement of a current in a particular node, that particular node can be replaced in the Y-bus matrix. Now, how do we can do that? So we can do that using a relationship with this. So all the current is in this side and voltage is in this side. So this is your I-bus. So IA is basically the vector containing the current that are injected, and Ix is the null vector. So here all Ix will be 0. So all the nodes, all the buses where there is no current entering or leaving the node, we can make that current to be 0. So only the current will appear at this buses Ia. Then the portion bus Y bus will have the matrices K, L and M. So K, L and M will be the new matrices involving in the Y bus. So we can observe that it will have both L and L transpose because of the symmetric nature. Now if we do the matrix expansion, then we get Ia is equal to K times Va plus L times Vx. This will be equation number 1, and there will be an equation number 2 is this. So equation number 2 Ix will be, which is 0 because there is no current in this particular bus. So it is this. So we can easily obtain the value of Vx from this. So this will be the third equation. So Vx we can easily obtain from the values equation number 2. Now if we substitute equation number 3 in equation number 4, we get a values of the current in the new matrices Ia. So the Y bus reduced matrix will be equal to K minus L M inverse into L transpose. So when we know the matrices K, L and M, if we know the matrices K, L and M, which are the partition matrix involving the matrix of the current Ix to be 0, where no nodes are involved in current entering or leaving, then the reduced matrix of Y bus will can obtain by this equation K minus L M inverse into L transpose. So we will be looking some of the tutorial problems, and then we will understand how the single line diagram are converted to reactance diagram, impedance diagram to obtain the Y bus of the system. And whenever a network is very large, how do we reduce the size of the matrix by partitioning it? Thank you.